Hi everyone, it's Diana Palm, the Love Witch, and today I want to talk to you about genetic ghosts. This is a real thing, and my message today is really important. I've been putting videos and programs out there to help you raise your spiritual vibration so that you can manifest the life and the love that you want. But many people are still having trouble accessing the vibrations that allow them to experience this more abundant, loving energy in their life. There are many people right now that are really struggling financially. They're struggling with depression. They're struggling with not knowing what step to follow. And in 2022, many things have been shifting and changing. The energies are different, and it requires us to really leave our story in the past, which means stepping out of our previous paradigm and really embracing the new energy. In order to do this, it's very important to heal and resolve any unhealed emotions or energies from the previous paradigm, which means simply your life before now. When it comes to genetic ghosts, these could actually be ghosts attached to you in your DNA or to your family history. These are genetic things that we inherit that plague us, that limit us right from the very beginning of our lives. Sometimes they happen as we're living our life. If there's been a very abusive pattern in your family and it's been generational, it may have also happened to you here in this life, but you also received it genetically, which means you inherited the wounds of your ancestors and any demons or ghosts that were attached to those wounds. We are always connected to our genetic family line more than 7 generations back, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. Your body carries cellular memory from everything that all of your ancestors have lived through. If you start thinking about your lineage and what some of your ancestors have lived through, it's really quite eye-opening to realize that their cellular memory lives within your body, and this affects your spiritual vibration. In many cases, this can limit you from experiencing true love, financial well-being, or vital health. I've been clearing negative entities and demons for nearly 30 years. And it's not something that I like to talk about with the masses because there's all kinds of different belief systems about it. Some people get very triggered just by the idea. And I don't want people to focus on it and start to attract that energy into their life, which is why I have limited the amount of videos that I have on this topic. But I was finally guided to start making videos about this so people have a better understanding about this. If all of this sounds just absolutely crazy to you guys, then that's okay. This isn't for you. Just go ahead and click off. But I want to talk to the people who knows this is a reality, who's very aware of it because they've been feeling it or seeing it and experiencing it. And if that's you, then stay right here because I want to educate you about what's going on spiritually in terms of spiritual attack, the spiritual awakening, and how you can get rid of genetic ghosts and demons to live a happier life. Many people feel that when they're having negative energy in their life, when they're having spiritual attachments, negative energy, demons, that it's something that is happening to them and not something that they're attracting. But the truth is, you are attracting it, but it might not be your fault. You may be attracting it based on your ancestry. If one of your relatives in a previous generation had a drug or alcohol addiction and you inherited their genes, you most likely also inherited the drug entity that was attached to their gene. And this is why it's so important to do your spiritual healing based on your own life experiences and your genetic family line. I've written a guide called Genetic Ghosts to help you better understand how we get these attachments and also how you can become free of them, how you can literally do the spiritual healing work yourself to clear your dark family lineage. I've also thrown in a 13-page guide called Spiritual Warrior Protection. And this is because we are all spiritual warriors right now. Some of you may not be activated. Some of you may not know that that's what you're supposed to be doing right now. If you have been keeping your energy clear, if you have been thriving financially, if you have been creating joy in your life, and you have been generous in spirit during these difficult times, then you already are a spiritual warrior. And some people like to take it to the next step and actually get out there and help other people through it. And that's why I've made this information available. It's so very important that every individual knows how to keep their spiritual vibration clear. Now, when I'm talking about spiritual energy, I am not talking about any particular religion. This is totally open to all belief systems and all faiths. It is entirely about spiritual vibration, your own frequency that you resonate at. And you will know this by what you draw into your life and who you draw into your life. That's actually the best way to see what your spiritual vibration is. So if you've been struggling and beating your head against the wall and really being challenged as we're moving through these times, if you're seeing hopelessness and poverty and mental illness and people struggling everywhere, then you may be a spiritual warrior that is trying to wake up so that you can move into position and you can start to help people heal their spiritual energy and raise their vibration. I've been spiritually clearing negative energies off people for about 30 years and doing active paranormal work for about 18 years. There's nothing that I haven't seen. I am the medium that everyone calls when they run across really dark energies. And I work with confidence and clarity because my connection to Creator is strong. I've been training spiritual warriors for about 14 years, and I know what they need to do in order to have the divine skills and the spiritual backbone to be able to do this work safely, which means protected. When people rush out to do paranormal work or work with spiritual energies to do clearings, they often get attachments, they often get sick, they often get in accidents. Many negative things happen because they get attachments and they don't know how to stay spiritually clear. What I teach people is to be spiritually responsible, how to manage their own energy, how to recognize what is around them, what's attaching to them, and how to clear it off. How to clear it off with no fear, which is the most important thing. Now, when it comes to working with spiritual energy, it's very important that your own vibration is high because you will attract spiritual energies based on your own vibration. So if you're depressed, if you're worried, if you're caught in resentment or anger, you will be attracting the negative energies and demons that vibrate in that frequency. Even if you're trying to be happy, you could unintentionally still draw them to you based on your genetic history. And that's why we call it genetic ghosts. Many people have ghosts attached to them and demons attached to them based on their own DNA, based on their family lineage and the unhealed issues within their family. So if you're stepping into this because you want to clear yourself and you want to heal your family line, then get my guide. You'll be able to clear your family line and raise your spiritual energy. Now, if you're somebody that wants to get out there as a spiritual warrior and you feel called to do this work, I'm going to recommend what I've always recommended. It's to get your own DNA straightened out first. As the spiritual attacks are happening, they're creating a spiritual awakening. It cannot happen any other way. People don't just one day become spiritually awakened. It comes from hardship. It comes from suffering. It comes from loss. It comes from many human struggles. That this is what brings us to our edge, that has that soul opening experience where we wake up, where we shift the way we feel, where we decide to forgive people, where we decide to move forward. This is a spiritual awakening. So I don't want anyone to be scared by this video. Don't be scared of the demons or the genetic ghosts. It's simply part of the spiritual awakening. Embracing this energy and helping others move through it faster by clearing their genetic ghosts and demons and hauntings will allow all of us on earth to experience our spiritual awakening collectively, to really move the masses into the spiritual awakening, which simply means a higher spiritual vibration. In that spiritual vibration, there's more joy, there's more abundance, there's more happiness, there's more creativity, there's more inspiration, there's more reason for being here, there's more excitement for life, there's more compassion for other humans and for animals and for all of God's creatures, for the lakes, for the oceans, for the rivers, for the land itself, for the trees. A spiritual awakening is part of our evolution. It's a beautiful time to be here, and your soul chose to be here. As a soul who chose to be here during a spiritual awakening, you knew that you were going to have to go through a global spiritual attack in order to get it, in order to experience it. And now I feel we're just cleaning it up. There's a lot of clarity. There's a collective consciousness waking up. There are spiritual healers becoming activated that want to do this work, that are being called to do this work. And all they need is the right skills and abilities to step forward and be able to do it. You may not have a desire to work with individuals one-on-one, and you may not have any desire to go into haunted houses and clear them. That's absolutely fine. But I believe every single individual should work on clearing their own DNA, clearing their own genetic ghosts, so that they can be responsible for coming up in spiritual vibration and staying on point with spiritual awakening on earth. Many healers, psychics, and mediums have been under spiritual attack. It's been preventing them from being able to step out and do their work. In fact, many of them have stopped doing their work and went back to the security of a 9-to-5 job and left their spiritual gifts because they got overwhelmed by what was happening globally and with group consciousness. They couldn't handle the spiritual attack that we were all experiencing. And because of that, I've seen people with tremendous spiritual abilities for healing not activate their fullest potential. They unintentionally have fulfilled the agenda of the dark energy. And I want to encourage you, if you're a healer, if you have spiritual gifts and you just haven't been able to make money, it may just be that you need some additional training to help you get your business off the ground or help you reach people in a way that will position you to be able to make money serving your calling and helping others. I never get it anymore, but years ago, people used to think it was weird that I charged money for doing spiritual work. And I'll ask you, have you dedicated your heart and soul to one thing for 30 years and spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars plus hours and hours to develop, to hone in, to get clarity, to be prepared, to put yourself in harm's way, to go into dangerous positions to help people? Because that's my career, that's my job. Yes, I do get paid for it. And you know what? If you're a spiritual healer, you should get paid for it too. Be sure you check out my link below for genetic ghosts. I'll put it right down below this video. The genetic ghost guide will help you identify some of your family's dark lineage so that you can more closely and accurately hone in on the demons and ghosts associated with your family and your family's dark lineage so that you can heal it, so that you can be free, so that you can free your DNA from this energetic pattern that's generationally been following you around. So I believe every individual should at least get that guide and work on themselves and on their DNA to clear it, to put a stop to it, to shift it from moving forward into the next generation. When you get my genetic ghost, you're also going to get a bonus, which is a 13-page guide on how to maintain your spiritual protection. And that is so important for every single individual. I've been working with negative energies and demons for so long that I am not scared by them. I have the spiritual strength, I have the expertise and the experience, and I have no fear. If you have fear, please do not do this work. Fear is a magnet that attracts them to you. But because I've been working with the light so long, and because I've worked on my spiritual strength for so long, I know that I am solid doing the work. I don't chase after them, but I'm telling you that they do not chase after me either. They can't come into my home and they can't attach to me because of my spiritual strength. So this is based on every individual. And if you feel called to do this, if you would just like to have more energy, more clarity, a higher spiritual vibration, and feel more peace in your heart, more joy or more abundance, then be sure that you get my guide. I know it will clarify some things for you on a very deep level that you will be able to shift within yourself. So I don't want to attract attention to demons and have everyone really start focusing on that and stirring up that energy. What I want to focus on is clearing it, eliminating it, empowering you, letting you know that you have authority, but then giving you the tools to do it because it's time. They're running scared. And I want to make sure that you have that authority, that you have that spiritual strength, that you can create with God, creator, source, that you can be a power in your own life, that you can draw the line, that you can have spiritual boundaries, and that you can keep your precious home safe and filled with light. My daughter has been helping me do this work since she was 3 years old, and she's now 28. So this has been a journey that she and I have been committed to. We have worked with so many people, and many of you watching this we've probably worked with you too. And one of my greatest joys is being able to really prepare people to do the work, to teach them that they can do it themselves, but then to make sure that they're spiritually in alignment for the work, because you never know what you're not ready for until you're in the face of it. And that's why I strongly encourage you to do your spiritual healing, to get the training necessary so that there's absolutely no fear, so that you have no triggers, so that you're as clear as can be while moving out there in authority and strength to heal the masses, to be a fundamental part of raising the vibrations on earth. If you like this video, be sure to give me a like down below, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thank you for being here, everyone. I can't wait to help you clear your genetic ghosts and step into the happiest, healthiest version of you. If you're new to working with the spirit world and this seems a bit overwhelming, you'd rather hire me for a private session or set up spiritual coaching and healing sessions, be sure you go to my website at www.dianapalm.com.